I feel like there's just so much news going on right now that I have to go ahead and make a little news dealio. This is going to be covering news from both Monday and Tuesday. Just some important news articles that not only relate to my portfolio, but I have some other interesting points to say about some of these. But let's get right into it because we got quite a lot of articles today. Ford continues to be plagued by troubles in China. Broader economic downturn has dented consumer demand. Wild stuff. What a shocker. The Chinese auto market's down. We already knew this is going to be the cause for a little bit. So Ford China vehicles sell for the third year in a row by 26.1%, saying 37% in 2018 and 6% in 2017. The pressure from external environmental and downward trend of industry volume will continue in 2020, so they expect another down year. So, again, with Ford, their lineup in China, they really aren't doing well on cars in China. So, passenger cars, it's really the main loser in China for in terms of their sales. So, they really need to work on their product mix and what they're actually making for out there. Alright, so let's go on to the next bad boy, where Mizuho is naming his top tech picks. Alright, Facebook gets the top internet pick of the year. Let's go. Significant portfolio of assets, which are not yet fully to be monetized, as I've mentioned countless times. It's an excellent pick, actually. Surprisingly, Facebook's one of the best buys in the market right now, when everything's so high. The firm sees tailwind for new products like Instagram checkouts and thinks the regulatory concerns are both overstated and priced into the stock, which they are. But he gives the stock a 240 price target only? That's it? Yikes. Yikes, my guy. This bad boy is going to be 270 by the end of the year, so let's get it right, kid. As long as there's no market downturn. Facebook's going to be a 270. You heard it here first, folks. All right. Mizuho also taps Baidu as a top pick, saying the name will likely outperform due to favorable comps, recovery in healthcare advertising, and meaningful operating leverage with a $175 price target on it. Okay. Good for them. Guess what? And here's the trend here. You're going to see it a lot. So now Micron lifted ahead of strong 2020. Credit Suisse, or Microsoft, what am I talking about? Has lifted Microsoft price target, to 180, which is already a solid 12% above current levels. Company's very bullish. Of course it is, because the dang thing went up 100% in a year. So what do you expect? Of course people are bullish on it. People are gonna ride the wave. It's just kind of what they do. Kind of scary, but I think this thing's just a little too much going on right now. But the results suggested a strong 2020 for Microsoft, and I think they will have a strong 2020. So that's fair. I just don't know how much the stock can even freaking continue to boom as much as it has. This thing's getting a little bit pricey. Ooh. Brad Zelnick thinks Microsoft can reasonably achieve commercial cloud revenues of $100 billion by fiscal year 24. Cool. And guess what? We're talking about price targets again. So Apple gets a new street high price target of $375. This guy's just, oh my gosh, a 20% increase this year as well is what this guy's calling for. This man's insane. And I get what he's talking about. So his is based off of 5G potential in the future. But $375 is very expensive. Yikes. Yet somehow we're still talking about iPhone numbers when this is a company that's more focused on services right now. iPhone still makes up the majority of their business, but there's gonna come a time in the future where their product mix isn't necessarily going to be all iPhones. There are other products such as services, especially, are going to be topping those charts in terms of what's actually growing and generating their revenue. So again, we're always focused on iPhones. That's all analysts ever talk about because that's just what they do. And we see all of these price targets from analysts go up. And you can take it multiple ways. So for one, you could just take it as, well, if analysts are seeing things positively, then it should be a good year for the market. You think if everyone's getting a buy rating. But here's the thing you need to know about analysts. They're always wrong, and they just follow what's going on. They just follow the trend. That's all they do. If the stock's been going up for several months, they're going to follow that trend and add a buy rating on it. And then if it starts to go down for a month, they're going to retract that buy rating and they're going to reduce it. I can already tell you that that's just how it goes for analysts. They're never correct. They don't stick to anything. They don't stick to their price target. They always adjust it for the negative always. I mean, it's for the negative or positive. They're always going to adjust it. And sometimes it's significant. Sometimes people will go from a buy on a stock to a sell on a stock just because the price went down, in the short term. Like, these analysts are not trustworthy people in terms of, what the outcome of the market's going to be. I don't trust them. But speaking of, you know what? New Age Beverage, one of my top picks in terms of speculative stocks for this year. New Age Beverage. Things shot up on Monday because of a picture of Kendall Jenner drinking a Guzmi Detox Tea, which is a product that is produced by, that's right, New Age Beverages. And guess what? You may think it's absurd that Kendall Jenner's having that much impact just by drinking something, but that's the impact that celebrities have on products, especially a smaller company like this. Yikes. I love it. So this is going to get people in it because it's a quote-unquote diet trend. Look at that. And also, Walmart here is expanding their robot army. Shelf-scanning robots to 650 more stores by the end, bringing the fleet to 1,000. 6-foot-tall Bosa Nova devices equipped with 15 cameras each can reduce tasks that once took as long as 2 weeks into a twice-daily routine. Let's just be fair. And also, they also have bots to scrub floors, unload trucks, and gather online grocery orders. If you have not seen any of this stuff, a lot of these are in test stores. If you haven't seen any of this stuff in action, it's insane. So these robots they're referring to pretty well go through the store, and they tell the employees what it is that needs to get stocked. So they're using those cameras, and they'll tell based off shelf levels if there's a product in that area that needs to be stocked, straightened up, whatever it might be. So it'll alert them to a specific issue, and they can go fix it. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And obviously, your floor scrubbers are really just, why are we wasting someone's time just riding on the floor machine the entire day, just cleaning the floor, when we can have a robot do it like a Roomba, Walmart's really ahead on technology. Technology is big for them in the future, so it's pretty cool. Big tech is now dominating the S&P 500 too, not just the NASDAQ. The top 5 publicly traded American companies, Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, and Facebook. That's right. FAMG, not FANG, FAMG, now make up 18% share of the S&P 500 index capitalization. Wow, higher than the tech bubble, even that ratio is, according to Morgan Stanley. That's all right though. I mean, they're dominating, so that's why they're in there. Amazon naturally trying to fight back against Microsoft winning the cloud contract for the Pentagon. What a shocker! They're gonna go ahead and they're gonna try to win the contract out. They're really not going to. Too bad. Sorry, Amazon. Microsoft wins it. And then we have JP freaking Morgan this Tuesday morning, absolutely blowing earnings out of the water. And this is a sign for what financial earnings are going to look like this week. It's going to be a fantastic week in terms of gains. Beats by 22 cents on an EPS standpoint, and beats by $610 million on revenues, up 8.4% year over year. That's really good. That's just really good. That's just fantastic numbers. They blew it out of the water. Facebook gets a lift, another price target increase to $280 from Deutsche Bank. I respect them. That's a decent price target. Mine's $270, so still staying at $270, but I can see it going higher. I appreciate it. Facebook reports earnings on the 29th. Can't wait. AbbVie's Skyrizi tops Cosentyx in a head-to-head study. Good for AbbVie. Very good buy right now, in my opinion. I'm pretty good with it. Good dividend payer. Just a good stock in general. I like them. I like them right now. Apple gets another price target of $355. That's crazy. $355. All because of 5G and their ability to really take the bull by the horns. And he gives a bull case of $400 per share. Oh my gosh, 30% upside. They're taking the bull by the horns. They're going to dominate 5G is what they're expecting here. So that'd be fantastic for them. So Ford is going to invest $82 million to expand plant operations in North Vietnam. That's right, we call it Vietnam, and back in my day, we call it Nam. Expects to invest to help boost capacity at the plant operated by Ford Vietnam to 40,000 vehicles a year from current output levels of 14,000 vehicles per year. So they're having troubles in Asian sales, so they're going to go ahead and produce more. However that makes sense. That's fine with them. U.S. auto sales are expected to drop this year 0.8%. So for the first time since 2014, auto sales are set to dip to below 17 million, which could be scary. But again, you know what? TrueCar, you can deal with it because these vehicles here, it's fine. It's cyclical. Vehicles are really cyclical. People aren't buying them right now. I get it. So no worries there. We have Disney has gotten a big jump in the positive ground after a report that says downloads of the Disney Plus app neared 41 million. Holy freaking crap. Disney Plus was one of the top app story of the year. Top app story of the year. I don't know what that means. Top app story of the year. It's confusing me. Sensor Tower says in a new report, noting more than 30 million downloads during quarter 4 after November 12th launch. Disney Plus grossed more than 50 million in the first 30 days. Even with a 7-day free trial, my gosh, well ahead of the subscription from HBO Now and Showtime. No shocker. Disney Plus earned more U.S. revenues than HBO's now best month. Oh, no shocker. Disney Plus is a banger of an application, banger of a service. Cleveland Research turns bullish on Micron. Let's go, baby. $67 per share. I sold some of my Micron, okay? I did sell some of my Micron for profit out of my portfolio. And guess what? I'm using that money to buy some good stuff. So, good for them. Microsoft patches a major security flaw discovered by the National Security Agency. The NSA is on to them. The vulnerability patch for Windows 10 and the 2016 and 2019 versions of Windows Server Krebs on Security called the issue an extraordinarily serious security vulnerability in core cryptographic component, says Microsoft first released the patch to the U.S. military and other key customers. Cool. Amazon bull sees Amazon Web Service decelerating. Of course it is, because this thing has been consistently growing 40% every single freaking quarter. So there's going to come a time in which it does actually decrease. Not necessarily decrease, but the rate of growth is going to decrease. So nothing absurd here. Then finally, we're going to end it with Beyond Meat. You know we love meat. Inks a deal with a key supplier. Multi-year pea protein supply agreement with Roquette. Roquette is a global leader in plant-based ingredients and a pioneer of plant proteins, which is good for them because they can help mass produce now and potentially spread out their products to more people. So that is the goal here. That's what I got for you. I'm dying.